Welcome to Practical Statistics for Nursing using SPSS. This video shows how to process the logistic regression test. You can watch the entire video or use the time slider to navigate directly to any time point. Logistic regression assesses the relationship between a variety of predictor variables and an outcome variable. In this example, we have outcome data from a variety of participants of a smoking cessation program. The outcome variable indicates the smoking status of each participant at the conclusion of the program, either still smoking or quit smoking. Notice that in logistic regression, the outcome variable must be dichotomous, meaning it has two categories. To comprehend the factors that predict the outcome, in this case smoking status, the researcher gathers additional data from each participant. These are the predictor variables that are thought to be associated with the outcome variable, smoking status. Notice that the predictor variables can be continuous or categorical. The logistic regression processor will identify which predictor variables have a statistically significant relationship with smoking status and provide associated statistical details for each predictor. Logistic regression has three pretest requirements: N quota, normality, and multicollinearity. First, we'll derive the minimum required N quota, then we'll compare it to the N in the database. Begin by listing all the predictor variables contained in the model. Then identify the type of variable, either continuous or categorical. First, we'll focus on the continuous variables. There should be at least 10 records for each continuous variable. Next, we'll account for the categorical variables, beginning with gender. Gender contains two values. We compute 2 minus 1 times 10, which is 1 times 10. Race contains 5 values. We compute 5 minus 1 times 10, which is 4 times 10. We find that this model requires an N of at least 80 to produce robust results. This example uses the dataset CH13 example 01 logistic regression.sav. To determine if the database has an N of at least 80, click on Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies. Move the outcome variable smoking status into Variables and click OK. The smoking status table shows that the database contains 218 records. Since this exceeds the minimum of 80 required for this analysis, this pretest criterion is satisfied. Next, we'll assess the three continuous variables for normality. Click on Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies. Click Reset to clear the variable list, then move Age, Income, and Cigarettes into Variables. Click Charts, select Histogram with normal curve, click Continue, and uncheck Display Frequency Tables. Click OK, and it'll process. All three charts show normal distributions, hence this criterion is satisfied. Lastly, we'll check the three continuous variables for multicollinearity. Click on Analyze, Correlate, Bivariate. Move Age, Income, and Cigarettes into Variables, and make sure that Pearson is checked. Click OK, and it'll process. Each of the correlations are between -0.9 and +0.9. Since there are no instances of multicollinearity, this criterion is satisfied. To run the logistic regression, click on Analyze, Regression, Binary Logistic. Move the outcome variable smoking status into dependent, and move the predictor variables into covariates. Now define the categorical predictors. Click on Categorical and move gender and race into categorical covariates. Since the first category within each of these predictors is designated as the reference category, set the reference category to first and click Change. Do this for each variable. Click Continue, click Options, and check CI for EXPB. Click Continue, click OK, and it'll process. On the omnibus tests of model coefficients table, observe the first p-value. Since this is less than 0.05, this indicates that the model contains at least one statistically significant predictor. Next, observe the Nagelkirk R-squared. This figure suggests that the predictors account for an estimated 59.6% of the variability in smoking status. Finally, we'll assess the variables in the equation. To clarify the results, widen the first column and manually type in the value labels for each of the categorical variables. Next, identify the statistically significant predictors, but don't include the reference category for the predictors, even if the p-value is less than or equal to 0.05. Proceed with the documentation process, which will include discussion of the p-values, EXPB, and confidence intervals. This concludes this video.